All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm with United States Secret Service, former United States Secret Service, John Carman, served under Ford and Reagan. Or was it Ford, Carter, and Reagan?
Nixon, Ford, Carter.
You're famously known for actually having the instincts to pull aside Hinckley and question him, who turned out to be the guy who tried to assassinate Reagan. So you know where you're coming from here. You have the experience. And you're going to give my audience your professional perspective on all of this that's happening right now. So it's no doubt that podcasters, influencers, especially the people who are really out there blowing the whistle, they're a threat to the establishment. They're a threat to, certain countries, governments, especially when they don't know when to shut up, and they just keep going and keep going. Well, now we have a situation with Candace, and I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, folks, here. Candace Owens is blowing the whistle and saying, hey, I got contacted by, she says 2 days ago, I was she says contracted, but I'm sure she meant contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity of the French couple, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. I hope I said that right. I am told there is one Israeli that is on the assassination squad, and the plans were formalized. Again, this person provided concrete proof that they're all placed within the French government apparatus. Further to this point, the person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. Journalist 𝗬𝗶𝗶𝗹 life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. I ask that every person to retweet and share this. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted since the source claims our leaders are aware. But I have more specific information, which is definitive, verifiable, should they care to reach out to me. To the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie Kirk's public execution to risk their own life. May God bless you truly. There's a lot there to unpack, but, let's just break this down, shall we? First, folks, get your virtual shield. Patriots 40 and up who have Gmail, listen, like the Gmail breach pop. Full shield around. Go down there.
With death threats before it was even Secret Service. So there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. You cannot assume that it's not real. You always assume that it may be real, and you take appropriate action. I've already advised through certain methods in the last 45 minutes that you notified me of this. I've already reached out to several people. I've already posted an article on the Facebook account and sent it viral. That means everybody should be looking at it. A lot of other important people are looking at it too. I need to talk to Candace if she's hearing me or if anybody has contact with her. I need to talk to her personally on a secured line, which I have. But the type of people that are involved with stuff like this, and then they contact you, she supposedly has a lawsuit that's pending. Maybe it's a defamation of character thing. That's a minor issue. You don't go around setting up assassination teams over it. That is an indicator that it's probably real, that what she said was true, and they're reacting and overreacting to it.
So Macron has a set of balls.
That's right. They need to shut.
That's what she's saying. She's saying that he's a he, that she's a he.
Well, so's Michelle.
Right. There you go. So let's just leave it at that. But she's out there making these statements. So obviously there's got to be, where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? I mean,
well, of course. And I've already had confirmation on that thing about Michelle years ago. Unsolicited comment by a Secret Service employee I worked at in D.C., at the White House and other places. And this person just offered it up, said, oh, John, did you know this? No, you got confirmation? Oh, yeah. And then when that person
got confirmation, huh?
When the Obamas went to visit the Queen of England, who I've personally protected at the White House, what they do is they accidentally put a glass of water or wine. They may do a toast or whatever. Once that person picks it up, they got fingerprints on it. Once they take a sip, they've left saliva. It picks it up, who looks like a waiter, takes it back, puts it, bags it, sends it to a place close by. They could verify that's DNA from a male. Period. Wow. End of story.
And they did this?
Yes, they did that. That's, they don't want to screw around. They don't want to.
I mean, isn't the fact that she's like 6'4" give it away?
Well, yeah, a lot of other things too. But
okay, so let's get back to Candace here. So Candace definitely should be worried. Is this a warning to her? Do you think
concerned is the word I like to use? Don't over worry, but be concerned. Be aware of your surroundings. I would have to go through a whole list of all the potential things to look at. I've done this before. I've told other people the same type of advice, and I don't want to give the list out over the air to give suggestions about what they can do, what they've seen me mention. But anything that she mentioned, I've already talked about. They've lied about the Charlie Kirk assassination. They've probably got the wrong guy. It was a setup by possibly other outside countries. Therefore, the ones may have been mentioned.
Well,
Charlie
she says
Kirk
that
and Candace were very close.
Go ahead, sorry.
Charlie Kirk and Candace were very close. And I'll go back as far as Butler, PA. They keep saying the damn name of Crooks. Thomas Crooks was not on the friggin' roof in Butler at the AGR building. That was a guy named Maxwell Yerrick who had ear gauge holes in his ears and nibbled off pieces of his ear, totally different facial structure, et cetera, et cetera. And then they vaporized his body, cremated it, washed off the roof so you don't have DNA. And Chuck Grassley, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and the rest of them, all of them keep wanting to say Crooks. They're lying.
But what would benefit them to lie? What would benefit someone like Kash Patel or Dan Bongino to lie? I mean, gosh.
Well, the first response is they're stupid. They didn't verify the information. They assumed the previous guys said that name by accident. They didn't check the DNA and the fingerprints and the dental records and the eyes are two different people. And they may be protecting a real guy named Thomas Crooks, who may not be in this country, as also commented by Tim Burchett, a congressman in Tennessee. And I called him on that. No response. Gee, Marjorie Taylor Greene's resigning. That's coming up quick. A lot of interesting stuff, but they still say the name Crooks. Here's a quote. Crooks is probably somewhere in another country or an island sipping on a pretty drink. You can't say the thing with the little parasol in it, Mai Tai or pina colada.
All right. So so then what's the next steps Candace should do? I mean, was it right for her to come out and put this out publicly?
Well,
does she need to get Trump's attention on this?
I hate to generalize, but I'll try to generalize. I need to know what area of jurisdiction she's at. She needs to file a police report ASAP. Stat.
I mean,
stat is yesterday.
Will that do anything? She needs to file a police report. I mean, does that do anything?
You know why? Because that's the first thing they're going to do is hit you up with this BS. Well, did you file a police report? Yeah, you have to do a police report. You have to file a chain of command. Then you file one with the IC3 unit, the FBI website. You call them up and make a report. They're going to ask you, did you file a police report? What do you think I just told you? You file a police report, you do an FBI report, and you call your congressman and your senator, and you contact the White House on the whitehouse.gov site. I've already indicated.
Well, she knows Trump. She knows Trump personally. I mean, why isn't she calling him right now and getting to the bottom of this?
Well,
she says here that
first.
Well, she says you United States leaders know.
Well, that's an assumptive statement. I don't believe that that's correct. I don't know that for a fact. She needs to get in touch with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, the White House Chief of Staff, and Stephen Miller, and or Donald J. Trump, and the rest of them to let them know. She
says right here, John, I do not know who in the American government can be trusted, since this source claims our leaders are aware. So the source is telling her that our leaders are aware, so they're going to let this happen. I mean, let's really think about it. Well, hold on. Wait up, John. John, hold on.
When I say something, I've verified and checked the source, and I can give you a name. She's not giving a name. She's saying they already know. How does she know? You see what I mean?
Because of this source, what he told her. But hold on, let's backtrack to Charlie Kirk. I mean, come on. Everyone's buying into the narrative. Everybody. Even the FBI. she's basically saying it's all connected, and our leaders know, as if it almost seems. I'll assume here for a second, and I'm just assuming, kind of like they're signing off on it.
Why is that? That's the question you have to ask. Why is that? When they sign off on something, it is the lone male gunman theory they've used since Lee Harvey Oswald, and that's to do a major cover-up. The one at Butler, PA, another cover-up. The Charlie Kirk, another cover-up. Do you see the pattern? The pattern is there.
So do you think they'll still try to take her out, even though she's sounding the alarm bells and putting
details to make that kind of a statement, but you always, always, always have to prepare for the worst. Do not assume you're safe. You have to maybe change your location, change all your patterns, drop phone numbers, and get rid of emails and all kinds of other stuff to make a move, unless she does a backup dead man switch, like the recent girl, Virginia Giuffre, who was killed, and then let the kill switch take over. So you have to have a backup like I do, have a kill switch, so if they mess with you, all hell breaks loose. Certain people get notified. They've got documentation and information that they know is going on. Mind-blowing, isn't it?
It's just, this is why a lot of conservative, politicians, influencers are not doing any more public events. This is affecting everybody. What happened to Charlie Kirk, and now with this, with Candace Owens, I mean, I hardly go to events anyway. I'm not scared of something like this. I just have social anxiety. That's just my problem. But like, people really need to take this into consideration now and watch their six, don't they? Because we are in a very hot political climate now, hotter than it's ever been, severely polarized, right, John?
Yeah, I don't go to public events for exactly a lot of those reasons, because imagine Charlie Kirk, they want him to go sit down in a chair, specifically positioned behind that camera and the box on the wall that I keep telling people, that's where the bullet came from. And everybody wants to look at the whole 360 minus that one little section.
You're saying that the camera right directly behind him.
What's behind you right now?
A window.
That's right. That's all it takes. Something from another area, and they want to point every direction away from it. The guy on top of the roof, Tyler Robinson, I don't believe did it. A 30-06, a 308 BS. Another guy spotted from another angle, wrong, BS. It has to be a smaller caliber, long rifle with a silence type of a mechanical device, and that's what I see. Candace Owens picked up on that. My photos are posted on the Facebook. The same photo she used looks like the same photo I posted. That's good, but nobody's interviewing me except you right now.
Right.
See what I mean?
Well, a lot of podcasters don't even want to touch this stuff with a 10-foot pole. They don't.
Well, they're scared.
Yeah, and they should be. But so Candace, though, I mean, okay, so she was uncovering a lot of what happened with Charlie Kirk, first off.
And she knew Charlie Kirk.
What's that?
She knew Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, right. But
very close. I've seen some videos.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Candace Owens is very close to Charlie Kirk. But
that's very important.
But she's uncovering a lot of stuff that they don't want seen. She's going against the narrative, against the FBI investigations, and she's also calling out the Macrons in France, he and his wife. I mean, she's really ruffling a lot of feathers. She really gets off on this, and the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so to speak.
Correct. So usually,
you know what I mean. So she's putting herself in danger. I give her all the accolades possible, all the credit in the world, but man, I mean, she's really playing with fire, right, John?
Right. And I'm in the same boat, because I'm not going to let it go. Just the fact that you brought attention to it, and there's certain prophetic numbers that I look at in these documents. I pick out certain key words. I'll go into it another way. But I've got contacts in France. I got contacts all over the world, and I've already been on it in the last hour since you notified me, because once I get that alarm note that something's aggressively being attacked against her, that puts me in motion. I start reacting. I'm going to do things. I'm kinetic, like my buddy says. And it's got to be taken seriously, and people have to be put on notice. Because
shouldn't Trump come out and make a statement regarding this?
A general
or 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗹 or Dan Bongino?
Hold on. That is the job of 𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗍, the Attorney General, not the President. He cannot get involved in certain lawsuits and certain comments, based on his stature and position, even though he met with some guy named Mandami yesterday out of New York. So that's good. Let's try positively and try to work something out. But Pam Bondi ought to be the first person on there saying, we will not tolerate threats from anybody about our citizens in the United States. That is a terrorist act. I just said it. It is a violation of federal law and international law for some person in another country to hire somebody to commit a crime against an American citizen, and that's terrorism, and it could be even high treason depending on who they contacted as well. That's a death penalty charge immediately. You can't go calling people up, say, hey, I want to hire somebody to do something. Even the FBI put a sting operation like that on the internet years ago. 25 years ago.
You're really telling me that all she needs, I understand she needs to create a paper trail, right? So she needs to, police report the whole thing, but she probably knows, I would imagine. Obviously, she talks to Trump on the phone, but, okay, make the police report, but also call Trump, call Pam Bondi, get on it.
Ever assume that she knows something. She doesn't. She's not a trained professional. She's very smart. She's very intelligent, but she better get her ducks in a row. I'm suggesting this very vehemently or aggressively. You file a police report as required by law. You file a report with the FBI. You notify the White House. If she's got contacts in the Attorney General, she better damn well have already done it already and keep doing it. She should get protection. She could get protection if the president wanted to.
And these guys have 6 ways to Sunday to get you, don't they? If they're the French Legion, if these guys are trained assassins, I
know. That's like the stuff that goes back to Dallas '63. 8 people allegedly shooters, 8 of them, and I've documented this for years. I've had my own contacts, and they also confirm 3 guys from Marseille, France. Okay. They've got nothing to lose. They'll hire some cheap person somewhere, direct them where to go. The mob is involved. That goes back in history. And I don't want to rehash the JFK stuff, but they're still lying about all that stuff too. And I've interviewed with James Files. I've talked to actual assassins. I'm the one that interviewed Hinckley, as you indicated.
I would imagine she's not going to go anywhere. She's never going to even leave her residence.
Well, that's the hard part. I know another person, I won't mention their name. They've had to be on the run. They've had to be traveling, and they're being harassed by people in black SUVs. That's deep state stuff, not officials. And if I was armed at the time, I would be dropping them left and right. This is not a movie, it's real life. They don't want to go after a highly trained person. They'll do it in a softer way. Soft kill, indirect. You never knew they were there. They can use other methods. You know what I mean?
Probably poison her. I mean, there's probably all kinds of ways to do it.
There's all kinds. Look at Kim Jong-il that got swiped with a scarf, just used as a prop. That's all it took. Some lady went up and rubbed his neck, and he was dead within the hour. Within the hour.
And they did that with Trump. Remember when that furry microphone hit Trump's face?
I remember, yes. That was a big mistake. Secret Service does not hammer those people hard enough. Trump is too allowing for certain media people to get too close. Those people need to be held back very hard, Secret Service style, because once they get that close, it's a matter of time. It's a delayed response. I won't mention radioactive material, but since you brought up poison and stuff like that, or related to that, you could take a nanoparticle of something and just spray it, shoot it, air pistol it, something at a directive area, hit the person. No different than Yasser Arafat, who was poisoned, and that was a Mossad hit. They got to his toiletries. They got inside to his toiletries, his toothbrush. I don't think he shaved much, so that would avoid that, and all the other stuff he might touch or have contact with the human body. This is Mossad type stuff. This is not normal knowledge that people don't get into unless you've got a background like I do in training.
All right, so really, the best thing she can do right now is file a police report. That's where we're going with this?
No, that's the minimal. Get that done now. It should have been done yesterday or 2 days ago.
But going public is probably the right thing to do as well, correct?
A dead man's switch. In case something happens, go public with certain international, The Guardian, international news media, stuff like that, so that once something hits, everybody's going to know. She notified Pam Bondi, Attorney General, the Secret Service, the White House, Trump, if she knows him, anybody, and keep record of all that.
Do you think, hold on, wait a second. Could there be a possibility that, wow, could it be that this is somebody else pretending to be with the French?
Of course.
And then it's really going to be our own.
Of course. Are you going to believe everything that comes up? Somebody calls.
I mean, it's kind of like what they're doing is deception. I mean, what they're doing is, having her point the finger at someone else when it's really going to be coming in a different direction.
They're not going to tell you. That's the first response.
Right.
Professionals are not going to tell you. Now, if you get death threats, those are the lower level people who are just trying to get a reaction, to get a knee-jerk reaction. That's the first thing. They may get some mileage. When they start throwing bombs, they start doing stuff to your location. I'm trying not to go through a whole list. And doing stuff to your house, your vehicle, leaving stuff at your door. I mean, it's no different than Halloween and somebody puts a prank or something, and then you get certain responses. So professionals will not do that. They do not want to be found. If it's learned that the Macrons did something to hire somebody, they're going to be the first suspects, and they could be charged through international law for terrorism based on that.
So she says a high-ranking employee of the French government.
I know.
She just outed him, basically, determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple. I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens.
Again, Candace is a real nice person, very intelligent. She's a podcaster and an influencer, but she does not have the background or training. I'm sorry, she needs to talk to people like me so I can give her a rundown and make sure every specific thing is being checked or protected to the point where ad nauseum I've said everything, and then you have to work outside the box and do what is the X factor. What's the stuff
you want to be like Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston, huh?
It was a nice movie, but they had mistakes.
That's what you want to do. That's really what you want to do.
They had mistakes. It was a nice movie, and I like Whitney Houston.
Do you want to be Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
you can't protect anybody in the bedroom.
Man, I appreciate you coming on. This has been crazy. I don't know what to make of this, but she's got to be careful, and she's got to follow the steps that you said to properly.
Well, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Somebody wanted me to hire me when I was in Secret Service. Somebody solicited me without looking at me face to face, was suggesting, "Hey, John, how would you like to be the secret shopper?" What, you mean go with the chefs and go to the store and pick up the food that goes back to the White House under police, secured, Secret Service protection, so that they could take stuff, x-ray it, check it for poison, do all this other stuff short of tasting it, and then they could feed it to the president of the first family.